Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Madam Surya. Today our group, we will presented the group assignment 1 for economy ECO415, and we have discussed and decided to choose essential market. So our topic for today is case study on chicken eggs market. Okay, before I start the introduction, let me introduce first myself. My name is Bibi Nur Aisyah binti Ahmad Shah. My ID number is 2022281458. And this is the rest of my team member, Sinaku Ana Pancon, Muhammad Amirul Syafiq, and Yang Bainul. Okay, let me start with the introduction. Firstly, what is market? A market is a place where parties can gather to facilitate exchange of goods and services. So the parties involved are usually buyer and seller. The market may be physical, like we go to shop face to face, or virtual, like online. Nowadays we prefer online, like Shopee. And the market establish the price of goods and service determined by supply and demand. Okay. So for market are important part of the economy. They allow a space where government, business and individual can buy and sell their goods and services. But that's not all. They help to determine the pricing of goods and services and inject much needed liquidity into the economy. Economic activities in Malaysia. Economic activity are human activity that generate income. So economic activity in Malaysia is divided into 3 sectors, which is primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary is agriculture, logging, fishery, farming. Secondary is more to manufacturing or industrial or construction. And the tertiary is tourism, trading, transportation, financial and education.
Hi, my name is Sinaku Anak Pachon. My student ID is 2022@62066. Today I will be presenting about microeconomic theory, which is we have chose Essential Market Act to discuss further about it. So I'm going to explain to you about demand and factor that change demand of egg, and also supply and factor that change for the chicken egg in Malaysia market. Right, before we see the demand and supply of chicken eggs as an essential product in Malaysian market, let us understand law of demand first. Demand is defined as the ability and willingness to buy product at a particular price in a particular period of time, ceteris paribus. So the law of demand stated that when the particular price of product or services goes up, the quantity of demand will goes down, and vice versa. Demand and supply actually determine the actual prices of that particular goods or services, and also the volume of that changes hands in the market of the particular product or services. Now we are moving to the demand of egg. From the graph shown here, that we can see the demand of egg has increased steadily from the year 2020 and is predicted to be going upwards to year 2028. When the demand of the eggs actually increase in the market, the price also increase. This is where it is important for the government to actually set the ceiling price for the egg, because to avoid manipulation by the seller, especially because of this particular product is an essential product in the market. So according to the KPDNKK from the Star News reported on 22nd of February 2023, it stated that the current retail ceiling price in Peninsular Malaysia for a standard chicken is RM9.40 per kg. And for eggs, it is 45 cents for grade A, grade B is 43 cents, and grade C is 41 cents respectively. However, in Langkawi, Sabah, Sarawak and Labuan, the ceiling price of the items is differ based on zone and also district. There are a few factors that change the egg demand in Malaysia market. Firstly, cost of living has increased. Egg are a substitute for protein sources, so the demand has increased in the market. Secondly, price of related goods. As the price of the chicken increase, as a result, the price of egg also increases. Third is because numbers of buyers. there are more numbers of buyer for the egg. Therefore, the egg demand also increased after the endemic, especially because more food production needed eggs. Fourth is climate change. Due to El Nino, which has been reported in early of this year and expected until September of this year, that we will actually facing El Nino. Our weather is getting hotter, so this also cause low egg production. Then it affect the egg supply in the market. So when the egg supplies might be limited, so the price and the demand also increase. So even though the egg prices is slightly increased to meet the cost of production, however, the demand for egg is consistent with the price increase because an egg is an essential product in the market. Moving on to the supply of egg, let us understand the law of supply. Supply is defined as the ability and willingness to sell or produce the product. So in the egg market, we see that the supply of egg was low due to the recent COVID-19 pandemics. However, it is reported that the supply of egg in our country is now significantly increasing due to the demand increase. Because this is an essential product, definitely people always needed it and looking for it. Finally, we are moving to the factor that actually changed supply for egg in Malaysia. There are factors that may have affected the supply of the egg in Malaysia, such as recent global challenges, COVID-19, the Russia-Ukraine conflicts, global logistics trend, and also the overall deceleration of our economics. Secondly is the cost of production, where the grain corn, which is almost 100% we imported from Argentina and Brazil, also have actually affect the price and also the demand and supply of chicken and eggs in Malaysia. Besides is the fluctuation of Malaysian ringgit, where the rising of logistic costs and the import of raw material for food is also down to the initial cost of the productions. So all these factors have impacted the market price for egg domestically and globally. So therefore, this is where the demand and supply actually make the changes in the egg market in Malaysia. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day to all. My name is Muhammad Amirul Shafiq and today I will present about the elastic demand for eggs and its market equilibrium in essential market. First of all, would demand for egg likely to be elastic or inelastic? Based on my personal opinion, I think the demand for egg is likely to be inelastic. Inelastic is an economic term referring to the static quantity of a good or service when its price change. Inelastic demand means that when the price goes up, consumer buying habits stays about the same, and when the price goes down, consumer buying habits also remain unchanged. Based on my explanation, demand for egg is likely to be inelastic in nature. This is because a change in price results only a small change in quantity demand. In other words, the quantity of egg needed is not highly sensitive to price fluctuation in eggs, meaning that it is something that people will buy no matter what. In a market equilibrium diagram, the demand curve and the supply curve intersect at a point which is known as the equilibrium point. At this point, the quantity of the commodity that producers are willing to supply is equal to the quantity of the commodity that consumers are willing to demand. Based on my previous slide, the diagram shows that the effect on market equilibrium when the increase in demand is smaller than decrease in supply. D0 and S0 are the original demand and supply curve respectively. Price P0 and quantity Q0 are the original equilibrium price and quantity respectively. Smaller increase in demand compares to the decrease in supply is shown by the shift of demand curve to the right from D0 to D1. That is smaller than the shift of supply curve to the left from S0 to S1. The equilibrium point will shift from point E0 to point E1. Consequently, there will be a large increase in price from P0 to P1 and a small increase in quantity from Q0 to Q1. In conclusion, an increase in demand that is smaller than an increase in supply, which will result in a large increase in the equilibrium price and a small increase in the equilibrium quantity. In the case of chicken and eggs, the rising of price that we have been facing previously can be explained by the market equilibrium diagram. The demand for eggs has been increasing due to the rise in population, the rising demand for poultry product, and the higher demand for eggs as an ingredient in various dishes. At the same time, the supply of egg has been limited by the limited availability of land for poultry farming and the higher cost of producing egg. As a result, the demand has been outstripping the supply, resulting in an increase in price. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Syambainan Muhammad Kamar Zaman. My ID student 2022 2484834 would like to share about the factor lead to the change in demand. First is population growth and demographic change. The population growth as well as change in the demographic composition in the population can impact the demand of eggs. Of growing population or change in age group with higher age consumptions pattern can lead in increased demand. Second, income level and purchasing power. Change in income and purchasing power of consumer can affect the demand for eggs. As income level rise, consumer may have more disposable income to spend on eggs, leading to an increase in demand. Lastly is price in substitutes. The availability and price of substitute for eggs, such as meat or other protein sources, can impact the demand if the price of meat increases significantly. Consumer may switch to egg as more as affordable alternative, increasing the demand for egg. Now, the factor lead to change in supply. The factor that affect to supply is whether chicken shortage, input costs, technology and production, government regulation, and global challenge. Government intervention in market. Government intervention in market is price control. To control the price, the government may enact price. Usually that is done to ensure the affordability and shield customer from unexpected price increase. Second is regulation. Regulation pertain to the capture and security of eggs are established and implemented by government. Regulation governing animals' welfare, environment standard, and method used in poultry farming may be implemented by the government. Lastly is market information and research development. The government has a right to gather data on the market, conduct studies, and write report. The government can use the data to track and analyze the market trend while also assisting producer and consumer in making informed decision. To increase productivity and competitiveness, can involve providing funding for technological advancement. What we can see in this picture, this is a proof the government intervention in the market.
Here are some the recommendation to overcome the demand and supply problem of chicken eggs. The first one is reducing or temporarily stopping the export of eggs abroad to stabilize the supply and stabilize the price of egg in local market, which means government have to take an action to stop the export and focus the country supply first. The second one is to provide the tax relief or temporarily increase the subsidy of control grade chicken eggs to the egg producing companies involved to cover the price difference between the cost and the shilling price. Actually, the step is very necessary because when there are increase in cost of production and control prices, it cause producer to lose and have to reduce the production, thus causing a decrease in supply. Okay, another one is we can import eggs from the several foreign country, which means when we import from the outside until the supply of egg exceeds the demand. So when the supply of egg exceeds the demand, the price of egg will fall. So when the price already stabilized, the government no longer need to control the price and provide subsidies. So the national money can be saved. Okay, so the government also needs to continue monitor the increase in egg price from time to time and take appropriate action to harmonize egg prices throughout the country to safeguard the welfare of consumer and traders. Okay, we have reached to the conclusion part. In conclusion, the demand and supply of chicken eggs is affected due to several factors, especially the high cost of living and increase in cost of production. Due to the high cost of living, people substitute their protein intake to chicken eggs as it's cheaper than other protein source. This makes demand for chicken eggs increases. However, the supply of chicken eggs low due to increase of cost of production. When the cost increase, the producer will limit their supply. So the supply become low. Here are some of the references that we use to collect the info regarding the chicken eggs market. That's it. That's all from us. Thank you, Madam Surya, for listening to our presentation. Thank you.